Right, so welcome back, and today we are going to be learning how to make the nose. So you're going to need your pink yarn, which is the same yarn that you have used for the inside of your ears and possibly the last the last two rows on the pillow cushion cover itself. And then you're going to need some yarn for the muzzle. Now again, I have used the same yarn that I've used for the central part of the cushion and the outside of the ears. So as you know, I'm trying to use up what I have here. Right, you are also going to need the same hook that you've used for the rest of the pattern. Right, so let's move this off to one side and get on with the pattern. Right, so now time to make that cute little muzzle. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a slip knot and pop it on our hook. Now we're going to chain 19. Now we are going to be working into both sides of the chain. Now the whole muzzle again will be done in half double crochets. So hook over, and in the second chain from the hook place your first half double crochet. Into the same chain we will place another 2 half double crochets. So that's a total of 3 half double crochets into that first chain. Now we are going to half double crochet all the way along for a count of 16. So I'll meet you when you only have one chain left. Right, so you've now got your 16 half double crochets popped into your chain, and into your last chain you're going to place 3 half double crochets. That helps us turn the corner. Now I like to work over my yarn tail as I'm doing this next section. So working over my yarn tail and going into the next chain, I'm going to place a half double crochet, and I'm going to place 15 more half double crochets all the way along. So that's a total of 16 half double crochets. I will meet you at the end. Right, now you have your 16 done on this side, we will now slip stitch to the first stitch in this row, or round I should say, and you're complete. So if you look closely at the stitches here, they line up beautifully one on top of the other. That's how you know you haven't missed any stitches going round. Right, so and now for round 2. For this one we are going to chain 1, place a half double crochet, increase into the first stitch. Now to do an increase, it's just 2 half doubles in the same spot. Okay, so we have done the chain 1 and the half double increase. We are also going to do 2 more half double increases. Like that. So now we have 3 sets of half double crochet increases. Now we'll place a half double crochet in each stitch along for a count of 16. Now we are going to place a half double crochet increase into the next 3 stitches. Once you've completed those, we are now going to run 16 half double crochets and back down at this side of your work. Now slip stitch to join to your first stitch and chain 1. There we go, that is the end of round 2. So now for round 3, we are going to place a half double crochet increase into that very first stitch, followed by a half double crochet into the next stitch, and we're going to repeat that another 2 times. That's half double crochet increase followed by a half double crochet, and last one, half double crochet increase followed by a half double crochet. All right, now we are going to half double crochet for the next 17 stitches. Now on the next stitch it's a half double crochet increase followed by a half double crochet, and we'll repeat that again another 2 times. So that's half double crochet increase, half double crochet into the next, half double crochet increase, half double crochet into the next. Now we are going to run all the way down this line here with another 17 half double crochets. Once you've done those 17 half double crochets, it's slip stitch into the first stitch and close up your work. Now on to round 4. We're going to chain up 1, half double crochet increase into the first, then we're going to do a 2 half double crochets over the next 2 stitches. So that is our repeat: half double crochet increase followed by 2 half double crochets on their own, and the last one, half double crochet increase followed by 2 on their own. Now we are going to work down the side of our work for a count of 18 half double crochets, and once you've done that, meet me back here. Right, so now you've done those 18 stitches, we are into our next one. We will place a half double crochet increase followed by 2 half double crochets in the next 2, one in the next 2 stitches. Now an increase, and now a half double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, and our final half double crochet increase for this round. And then we do another half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Now we are going to run all the way down to the bottom again, and that should be a stitch count of 18. Once you get to the bottom, meet me there and we'll close up together. Right, so now we're back for round 5. So that is a case of chain up 1, and into that very first stitch we're going to place a half double crochet increase. Now we're going to follow it up with a half a double crochet in the next 3 stitches, and again a half double crochet in the next. We're repeating this pattern again for 3. Into our next one it's a half double crochet, next one half double crochet, half double crochet, and the third is a half double crochet. Now we're doing our increase and a half double crochet in the next 3, and of course that is our corner now done. Now we're going to run along this side for a count of 19 stitches. Once you've finished your 19 stitches, meet me back here and we will work the corner together. Now you have your 19 stitches running along that edge, we are going to place a half double crochet increase into the next stitch, followed by 3 half double crochets over the next 3 stitches, and we're going to repeat that a further 2 times. So that's half double crochet in the next stitch, so that's a half double crochet increase in the next stitch, followed by 1, 2, 3 half double crochets, and then our last one of our half double crochet increases for this round is in the next stitch, followed by another 3 half double crochets. And that is the end of this corner done. Now we are going to work 19 stitches all the way along, and I'll meet you at the end in a moment. So to start on round 5, we'll have done our first chain 1, and then into that same place that the chain comes out of, we are placing 2 half double crochets. Now over the next 3 stitches we will place a half double crochet in each of those. And we're going to repeat that whole sequence another 2 times. So that's a half double crochet increase, and then 3 half double crochets. Increase, three half double crochets. Right, so that's that corner complete, and now we're going to run all the way down the side here with another 19 half double crochets. I apologise if you can hear this stupid idiot on a motorbike. Right, I will meet you back at the bottom in a moment. Right, so now we've done that 19, into our next stitch we are going to place a half double crochet increase. And then we're going to do our 3 half double crochets in the next 3 slots. So that's 1 there, number 2, and of course our number 3. And we will repeat that sequence there for a further 2 more times, starting with your half double crochet increase. Then our increase, three half double crochets, followed by our increase, followed by the remaining 3 half double crochets. Right, so now we've done that corner, we're going to run 19 half double crochet stitches and down to the bottom to meet up with this one. I will see you there when you get there. Right, so we're at the end of the row, so now it's a case of slip stitching into the top of the first stitch, the first half double crochet, and chaining up 1 to finish our round. Right, so and now we are on to round 6 and round 7. So for both of these rounds we are just going to work all the way around with our half double crochets. So I will see you back here when you've finished those 2 rounds. Right, so here we are back for row 8. So for row 8, do your first chain stitch, and then into your first 2 stitches here we are going to do a half double crochet decrease. So to do a half double crochet decrease, if you haven't already done it further on in the project, you're going to hook over and place your hook through the front loop only of the next 2 stitches. Hook over, pull through your yarn, you will have 3 loops on your hook, hook over and pull through all 3. And that is how you do your half double decrease. Now we are going to do a half double crochet in the whole stitch for the next 4 stitches. And now we are going to repeat that whole pattern again, and we're going to do the repeat 4 times in total. So that is a half double crochet decrease. So I'll run you through that again. You hook over, you go through the front loop only, going from the bottom of the stitch to the middle, front loop only, bottom of the stitch to the middle on the next stitch. You will have 4 loops on your hook. Hook over and pull your yarn through the first 2 loops. Hook over and pull your yarn through the 3 remaining loops on your hook. Now we are just going to do our 3 half double crochets over the next 3 stitches. And that is the end of set 2. I will leave you to do set 3 and set 4, and I'll meet you back here in a few moments. Right, so now you've completed that set of 4 repeats, we are just going to place 14 half double crochets along this section. Once you finish that 14, meet me back here and I'll tell you what to do to go round the corner. Don't skip it because it's slightly different this round than previous. Right, so you've finished those 14 half double crochets, and now for this last corner here we are going to do 4 half double crochets followed by the decrease, and we will do that 4 times. So that's 4 half double crochets followed by your front loop only half double crochet decrease. I will meet you when you get to the end of these. Right, so you finished that corner there. The only bit left on this row to now do is 14 half double crochets to the end. Right, so we're now at the end where we're slip stitching into that very first stitch of the row, and chain up 2 and then pull up plenty of yarn, okay, for sewing in and sewing to the main body of your pillow. And that is it, that's the muzzle now done. Now that when we sew this on, there will also be a little bit of shaping to do. Okay, mine looks a bit funny because of the way I've been holding it, but there'll be a little bit of shaping to do when we sew it on, so that we get the cheeky bumps for the cheeks. So, and now you've completed the nose, it is a time to move on to the next bit. Right, so here we are. This is the little button nose for our rabbit. So what you are going to need, of course, is your 4mm hook, or the hook that you're using for the size of your blanket and the yarn. You're also going to need the pink from the same pink that you used on the ears, and a small amount of stuffing. Yeah, I've pulled out a massive cloud of it. I'm not going to need all of this, but it's better to have a bit more than not enough. Right, now let's get on with the pattern. Now to make that little cute nose, grab the pink that you used for the inside of your ear. Okay, and what we're going to do to start off with is a magic loop. So for me, I prefer the second option of 2 strands around your hand plus the extra bit. So I'll show you how I do it. Right, I grab my yarn, I twist it around my fingers 2 times. Okay, and then hold my yarn like that. Then I place my hook underneath the 2 loops, hook the working yarn and pull up, and then twist my hook slightly, and then my fingers, and then I go back into that same loop again. So I've now got 2 on my hook. It's a little bit fiddly, but it is manageable. Okay, then with my working yarn I hook over my loop, I put the yarn over my hook, and then I pull it through the 2 stitches on my hook. There we go. So now you have got 2 loops hanging and a dangly tail. So we are going to work into both of these circles. Right, so now we are going to add 6 single crochets into our magic ring. Once you're done, pull up your loop and then hold your work with your tail facing away from you. Now what we're going to do is we're going to close the ring, and the easiest and simplest way I have found to close this ring is to grab your tail and pull it a little bit. When you do that, it will make one of these rings become shorter. So once you've worked out which one is shorter, that's the one you're going to hold, and you're going to pull from the same end as your tail. Okay, you just keep pulling and your other ring will get smaller, and then we grab our tail and we pull that, and then that closes up the whole ring. Really nice, really simple once you get your fingers to work. Right, so let's work on to round number 1. Right, so now on to round 1. With round 1 we will be stitching in our first stitch and doing an increase in the second, and that is our pattern all the way around. So it is stitch in the first, an increase in the second, so that is 2 stitches in the same hole. Okay, now I'm also working over my tail because that way it means I don't have to sew it in. Right, so that is a single and followed by an increase. Sorry about the squeaking, gang, I've done this 3 times now, so the ball's warmed up. Right, and then we have our last set, which is single, increase. Okay, so now on to round 2. With round 2 we are going to do 2 stitches followed by our increase, and we're going to repeat that 3 times. Oof. There we go. And so for our next round, which is round number 3, we are going to stitch 3 times, and on our 4th stitch it will be an increase, and again we are repeating that 3 times. There we go. So that was the end of round 3. So for round 4, I'm making the pieces on the fly. So for me to see if it's how I want it to look, I literally go, yeah, that'll do. And it is done. So let's see how it goes for the rest of this bit of the pattern. So round 4, what we will be doing is a single crochet all the way around for a count of 15 stitches. There we go. Right, so for round 5, what we are going to be doing is stitching in the next 3 and then doing a decrease. We are going to repeat that 3 times. And what I'm going to do is an invisible decrease, so that is hooking into the next 2 front loop onlys, hook over and pull through, hook over and pull through both on your hook. I'll show you again in a second. So to do our invisible single crochet decrease, it's pop your hook into the next 2 front loop onlys, hook over, pull, try that again, 2 front loop onlys, hook over and pull through both, hook over and pull through both loops on your hook, and then follow that with our 3 single crochets. Right, so at this point I do like to put a little bit of stuffing in so we know what we're doing. I'm being cheeky here, I'm making a tighter knot, tighter ball with it. And we're going to just poke it in, and you can also leave your ends in the bottom there, any that you've got left, because it helps with the stuffing. Saves you having to use as much, I suppose. Yeah, it's me being cheeky and tight-fisted yet again. Right, so poke your yarn in, sorry, not your yarn, poke your stuffing in. And now we're going to do the next row, which is row 6, and for this one we are going to do 2 stitches followed by a decrease. And we will do that 3 times. And there we go. Right, at this point pull up your yarn and pull out enough yarn so that you'll be able to sew it in without any issues, and cut off your yarn. Right, because at this point we're just going to weave around all of those in a moment. Right, so pull up your yarn, make your knot nice and tight, and that is nearly your nose done. As I said, we're just going to weave around in a moment. I'm just going to go and grab my darning needle and I'll be back in a second. Right, so to close this one up, all we are going to do is grab the front loop of every stitch going around and pull your yarn through it. Really simple. Oh, really quick. Just like that, and then give it a tug, and it closes quite nicely then. And then all I like to do is add a cheeky knot, because yes, I like my knots, and this section will be sitting on the cushion itself, so it's not going to be seen. And then I will thread my yarn up and through. Now remember, don't cut it off because you're going to be sewing the nose to your cushion, and we're going to be following this stitch here when we do, so that's why I've brought my yarn up to sit where it is. Right, let's move on to the next bit. Right, so now you've completed these 2 little pieces, or not so little pieces, pop them to one side along with your cushion cover, and meet me back here in a couple of days for the next instalment, which will be how to make the ears. Links to all videos in this set will be just about here. There will be a little I button that pops up. If you click that, it will show you the choices that you have for part 1, part 2, part 3 and part 4. So I will see you very, very soon. Please stay in and please stay safe. Ta-ra for now, everybody.